Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Being Biotechnical. The topic that we are going to cover today is recombinant DNA technology. So before entering into the topic, I would first like to clarify certain things that what is recombinant DNA technology? Recombinant means again combination. Re means again, and combinant has come from a word which is combination, and combination means joining. So, rejoining DNA, and this is done by a technology which we are going to discuss now. First of all, it is a very vital part of genetic engineering. Genetic engineering is a part of biotechnology, and this is a part of genetic engineering, which is recombinant DNA technology is a part of genetic engineering. The process of recombinant DNA technology involves identification, isolation, insertion of gene of interest into a vector. So now you must be confused at what is a gene of interest and what is a vector, and what is identification of gene of interest, isolation of gene of interest. So let us first get into what is vector. Vector is something which is, we can say that vector is a carrier or it's a vehicle. So what is the work of a vehicle? A vehicle carries us from certain place to some other places, or it carries certain things from one place to another place, or simply something which can move or which can make us move, which can make something move with itself. So that is a vehicle. So vector is a vehicle, and what is carries it? It carries foreign DNA. A vector carries foreign DNA. So what is a foreign DNA? Foreign DNA is, for example, us. What is a foreigner to us? What we understand by foreigner? Foreigner is somebody who comes from other countries, like that. Foreign DNA to a vector is something which is not its own bodies, or which is not something of which is already known to the vector, like it is from somebody else's body. It is not something to which is known to it earlier, or it is not something which is in the vector's body itself. So a vector is a DNA molecule used to artificially carry foreign genetic material into another cell. So vector itself a DNA molecule. Vector itself is a DNA molecule, and it has the capacity or capability to carry foreign DNA along with it to another cell to another cell. So a vector in which a foreign DNA is inserted is termed as recombinant DNA. When we insert a foreign DNA into the DNA of the vector, as we know that vector is a DNA itself, so when we insert a foreign DNA into the vector, then they both, when combined, are called as recombinant DNA, which is our DNA also. So vectors can be DNA, or they also can be RNAs. So the characteristic that the vector should possess, or a vector should always have these characteristics, which are replicate, selectable marker protein of replication, restriction site, small in size, and all in all. So I have just mentioned them. You may just note them down by pausing the video, and later on I will also make a video, clear video, on what are all those things. So for now, vector are usually highly modified phage or plasmid, means they are highly modified phages and plasmids. Now phage means bacteriophage or plasmid simply. So a vector is usually phages are taken as vectors. Bacteriophages are usually taken as vectors. So those vectors means the DNA molecules are already circular in structure. They already are circular in structure. What we do with them is we simply extract those circular DNAs from those bacteriophages body. After extracting those DNA molecule, we make use of certain enzymes. We make use of certain enzymes which are also very important in genetic engineering. They are the tools of genetic engineering, which is those enzymes are the tools of genetic engineering. They help us modify these vectors and insert the foreign DNA into the vectors. So let us discuss what are the enzymes that we require. So the enzymes that we require in DNA technology are broadly classified into three forms, which is nucleases, DNA modifiers, and DNA ligases. So now, what are the enzymes which are required in our DNA technology? The enzymes that are required in recombinant DNA technology are broadly classified into three forms or into three different forms, which are nucleases, DNA modifiers, and DNA ligases. Now, in nucleases we have restriction endonucleases, restriction exonucleases, and ribonuclease H. First of all, let us discuss what is restriction endonucleases. So before saying what is the total description of it, I must first say that restriction enzymes are those enzymes which help us or which are useful in the field of genetic engineering in order to cut the DNA molecules. They are also known as biological scissors. Scissors means the scissors, usual scissors that we use, and they are known as biological scissors, which means restriction enzymes are used as biological scissors. Restriction endonucleases means those restriction enzymes which makes cuts at specific site within the DNA called the restriction or recognition site. So what do we understand by that? Actually, the restriction enzymes have the characteristic of cutting at a particular site. Like they have that property of cutting at a particular site. So when it comes to restriction endonucleases, we make use of them when we have to cut the DNA not from the ends of it but at a particular site within the DNA molecule. Now, what is the difference between endonucleases and exonucleases? Exonucleases are also restriction enzymes which makes cut, but they cut only at the end of the DNA molecule. Like see, for example, you have a stretch of a DNA. If you have to cut the DNA within it, like in middle of it or somewhere within the strength or within the strand, so you will cut the DNA with the help of endonucleases. But if you have to cut the DNA somewhere from the edges of it, you will make use of an exonucleases, restriction exonuclease. So what is ribonuclease H? It selectively removes the mRNA. It selectively removes the mRNA from RNA-DNA hybrid. RNA-DNA hybrid to separate the cDNA and synthesize the second strand. What it does it when RNA-DNA hybrid is already formed, it selectively removes the mRNA and separate the cDNA. cDNA is separated to synthesize the second strand. So this is the use of ribonuclease H. Now let's come to the modifiers. So DNA modifiers are those enzymes which, after cutting the DNA, are used in order to properly insert the foreign DNA, which is the gene of interest, into the vector. So DNA modifiers are used to properly insert the gene of interest into the DNA vector. So they are DNA polymerase, reverse transcriptase, alkaline phosphatase, terminal nucleotide transferase, methyl transferase, and so on. About this we are also going to make a video in further videos. So what is DNA ligase? DNA ligase is an enzyme which is used to join the ends of the DNA vector and the foreign DNA together. It is used to ligate or to glue. It is also known as biological glue and is as important as that of the restriction enzyme. Restriction enzyme is used to cut, DNA ligase is used to join, and DNA modifiers are used to properly insert the foreign DNA or the gene of interest into the vector's body. So, without further ado, let us get into the topic, which is what are the steps involved in our DNA technology. So, there are various steps, like not various, there are just 5 steps involved in our DNA technology, which is described below. So, let us first get into the first step, which is identification and isolation of gene of interest. What is identification and isolation of gene of interest, and how is it done? So, what is a gene of interest? Gene of interest is, as we know, that genes are responsible for the secretion of protein. So, genes in our body are responsible for secretion of certain proteins, and proteins are so much required by us. Like protein usually do help us in doing so many things. They digest, they help us look like. Proteins are very important for our body. So genes are actually responsible for the secretion of certain proteins. So when our body lacks certain protein, like there is certain lack of certain protein, like usually in diabetic patients insulin is lacking, and in order to secrete those insulin hormones, we need to take out the gene which is actually responsible for the secretion of insulin hormone. Like in order to get more amount of insulin hormone, we need to take out the gene which is responsible for the secretion of insulin hormone, and that gene which we are taking in order to secrete more amount of gene of interest, that gene is our gene of interest. Like in order to cure a diabetic patient, when what we need is insulin, because the patient is lacking insulin, so in that case we will take the gene which is responsible for the secretion of gene and perform our experiment or this process with that gene. So in this case, in case of a diabetic patient, that gene which is responsible for the secretion of insulin hormone is actually our gene of interest. So I hope you are all clear about what is gene of interest. So our gene of interest is identified and isolated. Identified, as I told you, is identification, like if we need certain gene, so certain gene means certain proteins. So if we need certain protein and that protein is lacking in somebody's body, so how would we directly synthesize that protein? Like we need that hormone which is responsible for the secretion of that particular protein. So in order to secrete more amount of that protein, we need to identify the gene which is responsible for the secretion of this protein. So after identifying that gene, we would isolate that gene, which is we would take out that gene. So this process is also carried out by various ways, like we can get those genes from genomic library, and we can use the cDNA library, or if we know the sequence of those genes, like as we know that genes are a stretch of DNA. So if we know the sequence of the gene which is responsible for the secretion of the enzyme which we require, or the protein which we require, then we may chemically synthesize those gene as well. So with this, step 1 is done. So once again I am summarizing the topic, that is, we can isolate the gene of interest by identifying the gene of interest, and the gene of interest is the gene which is responsible for the secretion of the protein which is lacking in somebody's body, which we require in a large amount, but it is not present in a large amount. So in order to get it in a large amount, we need to identify and isolate that gene of interest. That gene which we are taking is our gene of interest, it's obvious. So then the next step is insertion of this isolated gene in a suitable vector. So as we know that vector, we have already discussed what is vector. Vector is simply a vehicle that carries a foreign DNA in it. So insertion of this isolated gene in a suitable vector means to insert. To insert means to join this isolated gene. Isolated gene is which gene? Is that gene which in step 1 we took out, which is our gene of interest. Like for example, which I said you that if a diabetic patient, then we require the gene which is responsible for the secretion of insulin hormone. So let's consider the same topic. So here we have taken the gene which is responsible for the secretion of insulin hormone. So the gene of interest, which is the isolated gene, is here the gene which is responsible for the secretion of insulin hormone. So let us say this is an insulin gene. So we took the insulin gene, and now what we have to do is we have to now insert this gene, this diabetic gene or this insulin gene, into the vector. So vector, as we already discussed earlier, that there are molecular scissors, there are restriction enzymes. So we will take out this vector from the body where this vector, where these phages are growing. Usually we take phages. So we will take out the DNA of that phage, and then we will cut it by the help of a restriction enzyme. Restriction enzyme is used to cut the DNA. So after cutting the DNA by the help of a restriction enzyme, we would then we would then join the gene of interest, the insulin gene, into the phage's body by the help of the enzyme. Which enzyme? Which we discussed earlier, the DNA ligase. DNA ligase is a biological glue. So that will help us joining the gene of our interest with the vector. So the gene of our interest is, as we said, that we are taking insulin gene, and the vector is a phage vector. So after joining them both, what will form? As I said you earlier, that gene of interest plus vector is equal to rDNA. rDNA, recombinant DNA. Okay. So after joining, we would get our expression vector. So let us now focus on the picture. The picture says that we took E. coli. E. coli is a bacteria. We took E. coli and extracted the DNA of it, which is a plasmid vector. the DNA of E. coli acted as a plasmid vector, and we also took the gene of interest, which, as I discussed, is an insulin gene. Let us take. So, we cut the plasmid vector by using restriction enzyme, and we ligated the gene of interest along with the restriction enzyme by the use of DNA ligase. So after this, the expression vector is formed. So what is an expression vector? Expression vector is similar to rDNA, which is a recombinant DNA. The recombinant DNA here is called as expression vector, because now this DNA is able to express, means this it is able to produce the product which we require. So expression vector, it is called as expression vector because after joining of both of the plasmid vector and the gene of interest, now it is able to express the characteristic of our gene of interest. So now it is an expression vector because as we know, the later on phase it will form mRNA and synthesize protein, and the protein that it will synthesize is the protein of our interest, is the insulin protein, is the insulin hormone. So I have also mentioned down that human DNA, which is a gene of interest, GOI, plus bacterial plasmid DNA, which is a vector, will give out rDNA. Now rDNA and expression vector are both same. I hope you are clear. With this, the part 1 of rDNA technology has ended. If you are more comfortable in Hindi, then I have made the same video in Hindi as well. You may check out the link. If you like the video, please do hit the like button and share this with your friends. Please don't forget to subscribe, and please press the bell icon so that the further videos that I'm going to upload would be notified to you.